Wow. So sorry to have began so late, but now that they changed this format, with this dark background, I couldn't find a live video for the life of me. It took me a while to get it. So I'm so sorry to be late. I was say, oh no, I was thinking, my goodness, am I gonna quit or something? So sorry to start late, you guys, but I was trying to figure out what to do with the live video because somehow the format got changed around in my thing in here. So, well, in any case, we got it. All right, so I had to Google it and look how to do it, man. I'm so sorry. So we lost some time, but let's get right into it. Let me see if I can. We're gonna start with a song. I wanted to teach you a song. Can you hear me? Anybody can hear me? I see Andy Crispin is there. Shalom, Andy. Bear Fruit, I see you. Bear Fruit, I'm here. Good, good. All right. So I'm glad that you guys made it. Uh, you can hear my voice clearly. Everything is okay. My voice, picture is okay. All right. Yep, yep. All right. Good, 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 good. All right. All right. So let me see if I can put something here. Start doing a song. Let me see. Okay, let's do this one. All right. Okay. We're gonna do this song here. Psalm 19:14. Let me see if I can put it from the other one. This one is better, I think. Let me do this here. This is better. Yeah, let me put it here. Yeah, so this one's right below there. This is a good prayer to ask God all the time. To the giver of definitions, the governing operations director, God, that I call him. Because whenever you're gonna work for anybody that has a creative capacity, you want the words that you speak in that company and the things that you think to be proper and acceptable, so you have a good job in that company. All right. So that's all works that way. And so let me see. Man, everything is going on. This is mine. Oh, here we go. All right, perfect. So, all right. So, let the words of my mouth, it says, and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. So that's what it's all about, you guys. It's about the words, the speech. We have to come in agreement with one speech because it said the Lord will give them one speech, one tongue, one language. One Leshon Hakadosh, that means the sacred tongue. That's why I'm getting into the original Hebrew word because that's the one that was originally given and it has a lot of meaning, once it gets to that. So, let's see. Let the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. My strength and my redeemer, my strength and my redeemer. Psalm 19:14. My strength and my redeemer, my strength and my redeemer. Psalm 19:14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. My strength and my redeemer, my strength and my Psalm 13:14. So it looks telling me here that I'm getting offline. I hope a lot of problems tonight, huh? I hope nothing happens here. I show you guys. I'm back online again, so I got to start again. My computer's acting up today. All right, one second. Let the words. Let me put the verse again. Yeah, gosh. Yeah. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. My strength and my redeemer, my strength and my redeemer. Psalm 19:14. My strength and my redeemer, my strength and my redeemer. Psalm 19:14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. My strength and my redeemer, my strength and my redeemer. Psalms 19:14. My strength and my redeemer, my strength and my redeemer. Psalm 19:14. All right. Okay, we got that song. It's a good song to keep in your heart, you know. Like a prayer you can ask God all the time, you know, to help to line up His words with your word with His words, you know, and meditate according to His mindset, you know, so things may go well for you in this world. So that's the whole idea of this song here, and I made it a long time ago. But the whole idea is the whole idea. I was studying this week on the word Mashiach, you know, in Hebrew, Mashiach, which means Messiah, you know it in English, or Mesías in Espanol. And the word Mashiach is interesting, you know, when you study in the Hebrew. Mashiach just means anointed, okay? To put the oil, to anoint somebody. And Mashiach, anointed can be on a person or even on things. Because in the temple, they will put the oils on the utensils, put the oil on the Ark of the Covenant, you know. Okay, tell me something while I'm getting off the line, but it looks like I'm okay. So the oil was the whole idea. When you anoint something with oil, you're setting it apart for the service of God, you know, of the giver of direction. When you're setting everything apart. So what we have to come in this age, the tongue, the speech that we have has to be anointed, has to be set aside for the service of revealing the completeness of our character. Okay, and that's what really matters. I'm sorry, you guys. There's something wrong here with my internet keeps going on and off. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what could be. I'm trying to fix it here. I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna have to step up for a minute and check in the back of my computer, see if the connection is okay. So give me a second here. I need to step out for a moment out of this thing. I have to check on the. Oh my goodness. Something is happening with my connector that's going on and off. I gotta step out for a minute and check the back of the computer. Hold on a second, you guys. Sorry about that. Too much hassle today. My goodness. Too much hassle. Thing was kind of loose, so I kind of tighten it up a little bit. about that. So, something I think it was kind of loose, so I just tightened it up in the back. Oh, sorry about all this complication. I'm trying to put directly. I have like a wireless antenna, but I put it with direct wire because I'll be faster. I'm hoping that things will be better that way. So I'm sorry about this. Let me just clear this out here. I hope it doesn't, kicking me out again. So everybody can see me still. Perfect, perfect. All right, we have Rosa Crispin, Andy Crispin, Bear Fruit. Good to see all you guys. All right, let's keep going. All right, so what I was talking about, is that the speech is what matters, because we are all made to be word carriers. And it's the words that you learn that earn you a living. The order of words that you learn that make you profitable, make you useful for society. So at the end of the day, you're asked to be the minister of words. If you work for a company, you're going to keep the order of the words for that product and service of the company. So at the end of the day, it is on the words that we need to focus, not upon color of skin, not upon anything else. Like that doesn't matter anything. The color of skin has not created anything upon the earth. It's the ability for the mind to understand words and to go along with the order of words that allow things to happen. So let's go back to the things that really happen. If somebody is really serious about changing a company, they focus upon the mission statement, they focus upon the manual, and they work from the ground up because that's the schematics, that's the floor plan. Okay, so the word is the basis for everything. The word is monarch and king of everything. Okay, so that's what this whole lesson is about. That we're gonna be learning this. So let me put a little bit of the video that I had made earlier. In a little while I'll stop it and then we'll give the first $50 prize. It seems like everything is going okay so far, so let me play this one. All right, let's see here. All right, here we go. Right, and here we are today on Wednesday. We're gonna do this thing for today. It's gonna call. Actually, going to call it the name of my program now. For this, I'm using because today we're going to talk about the serpent. The sun and the serpent. I'm going to introduce you to this concept to understand the usage of the word. Make sure I'm on. Okay, yes, I'm on. So that's the whole idea. We're going to talk about the sun and the serpent. Let me get my microphone closer here. All right. And the whole idea is to get you used to that, the functioning. We're going to focus upon the function of the sun and the function of the serpent, because that's what a creator does. He's interested in how things function, how things work, okay, not just how they look. So you have to see what the function is trying to convey, the message trying to give you. So that's what we're going to focus today. So let me put the illustration here that I have, I believe, for the that's for the psalm we're going to read. Okay, but this is the one. All right, and let me see if I can move it here a little bit. I'll move this one out of the way. Here we go. Okay, I can move it. Good. All right, so you can see better there. But Zephaniah 3:9 says, "For then I will change the people so that they will have pure lips." Pure, the word pure is barar, which means something that is bright. Okay, something that is brilliant. Okay, so you have bright lips. Like Moses was fascinated by the burning bush because it will not consume. There's a light that brightens, and there's a light that burns. All right, so if you have the light that burns there, the words in you are only for you to be a consumer. And that's all you can be. And so the whole idea is to rise above that, not just to be in this world, to be a consumer, because then the words in you are just to consume the objects on the dust that have the appearance of such and such a thing, like a car, whatever you have, but the thing is to take all the words in all of its fullness, so then you become useful to your fellow man, society, wherever you are. Even in this society, what I call the retarded garden. I'll explain to you in a little later what I refer by that. But here, what it comes down to is so brightness. You want the brightness of what I call the sonoluminescence. All right, which is what is here at the beginning when I will show you the sonoluminescence. That means the light produced by sound, sonos or sound, and luminescence, that's light. So there's an interesting thing that we're discovering now, that the world is not really necessarily the way it has been portrayed by science, but people are discovering what Tesla discovered a century ago, that electromagnetism and frequencies and sounds, that are not heard by the ear, are really in control of the environment, and you have the right antenna, you can derive electricity from the environment and all this stuff. All of that, after 100 years or so, is coming back again, and a lot of people are rediscovering this. So there's a way that you can even produce light, if you please, that is as warm and heated as the sun, in water and in empty space. And I'm going to put to you a couple of scientists that are working on it, and they show it to you with experiment, not just verbally telling you. And so this is magnificent. So the light produced by sound. And so I'm thinking of the verse Psalm 119:30 here. The entrance of thy word give it light, give it understanding unto the simple. Let me get close here as fast as I can. Yeah. The entrance of thy word, give it light. It give it understanding unto the simple. And here the word is the bar, the one that's spoken. Okay, the one that is conveyed. So Psalm 119 verse 130. So the entrance of thy words gives light, give it understanding into the simple. And you'll keep that in mind as we explain that. So what I'm focusing here is upon speech, the importance of speech. So I'm using the CEOs, which is a domain that I registered since June of 2003, and I had it since then. I'm going to start using it now for these messages. But I already have an idea of how to project this, because this is something that I plan to train all the CEOs in the world with, because they are the ones that, the reason why I registered that, because I understand that the people that own corporations and are CEOs, everybody in that corporation, they work for that one word of the product and service that company or corporation represents. That one word, and they're all in agreement to hold up and to learn that word, learn that instruction, learn those manuals. And as you work together in that environment, everybody corrects each other and makes sure everybody, adheres to what it's supposed to do, so the product and the service will be rendered really good, so that your competition your company will increase in reputation and will be around for many years. So there's a sense in which it's a camaraderie for the same one word that everybody agrees to uphold there. So it's one word that runs all companies, that runs all countries, when you become in agreement with what you're doing there as a corporation, you see? And so that's the thing, that everybody that really runs any economy, what they really do, they run words and the order of words. So words are very important, more than the color of skin, more than anything else. These are only sidetrack issues, all the stuff that the world is throwing at you right now. What we really need to agree is to come up in agreement with the one word that really matters. And I'm choosing the word of the Torah because that's the official creator of everything else. And I'm going to show you right now, as I go down the books of the Bible, how is it that, everything that you see in here to run the economy of revelation of himself, he did everything to reveal his character. We were made for that, for the revelation of his character, to have a fellowship with his personality. We were not made for a place like heaven, or a place, though we are bodies on earth. Our soul was made to be in the company and the fellowship and the mindset of the Maker. Because that's when you go work for any company, if you're going to really be the best in that company, you have to be in the mindset of the one that thought of the product or service. And then that you become very close to that person over there, and then he trusts you to run the company and everything else. So that's basically what we are the best at, to become one with the personality, that gives us the instruction as to why they're doing what they're doing. And that's the whole purpose of God giving us the Torah. Teachings orderly regulating all humanity, which is something that he did for the economy of revealing his character. He gave us the 613 mitzvot, which are the commands that he provided there, the guidelines, that he gave, which are way more that the world gives you when you have to open up your retarded garden. But nonetheless, what I'm talking about is the completeness economy's optimum speech. That's what we're aiming. We want to use the completeness economy's optimum speech. Because when you are in an environment of a creator, somebody that has the creator capacity to make a product and service, they have a manual, they have a mission statement, right? And what they use in there is the optimum speech, in the sense that the words that they speak is to run a product, to make it function, is to run a service, to make sure that it works, is so that the word is not used just so you can get a service that is named by that word, but you can create the service, you can produce the product. And so that's optimum speech, when you're using the speech to make things work, to activate things, to make things function. That's when word and speech is being used at its highest. Okay? And so the worst to that is the consumerism economy's outlandish speech. I call it outlandish because it's a freakish way, the more worst way to utilize speech. You understand that with words and with the order of words, God had created everything. And He made us fit to be able to receive these words and to be able to follow that order. And so if we take those words so that we never get to, follow order of words already for the economy that already exists, then you're going to end up going to this retarded garden and you're going to follow orders for products and man-made plans that you have to put your manpower in there to make it work. But you cannot get away, from people's rules. You have to have a job because out of this, the order of words that you keep for any job, you make a living. So all is in the order of words. We are called to be ministers of the word, not the world. Because the word is the one that makes the world, and when we take care of the word, then the word in us will take care of the world. That's the order. The world is the creator, the word is the creator of the world, and when we are taking care of the word in us takes care of the world. So at no time should you be looking into the world to find some item made out of the dust, out of the work of hands man, to see if there's something in there that can complete us. That's just a waste of existence. Okay, so that's what we're coming into, to understand that this is where we need to stand and we have to be in agreement. Because, I challenge me to tell me otherwise. Go and try to make something in the world without guidance and instructions of the creators of those products and services. You're not going to be able to do it. The word that is wholesome and complete is supreme and is king above all. And when you learn all the rule, all the connections of the word in all the definitions, then you rule together with the world. Then you are an Israel. You're a leader with the Creator. You're a leader with God. A leader with Hashem, the Maker. And so here we go, and now we're going to look here. Let me see. So we're looking at the completeness economy, optimum speech. So we need to learn words as completers, as working with the mindset of the Creator. So therefore, then all the words that are in us are to animate products and services, to produce them, to provide them for the world. We're the basket of cornucopia of abundance, if you please, for all the things that knowledge enables us to do. And that's a joy to live in that existence. Okay, now let's see here. Let me see if I can show you some of the order here. All right, we're gonna go down some of the books of the Bible. Okay, because let me take you first to the illustration of the sun and the serpent, because I'm trying to convey this quickly today. We're gonna get more into it as we go, but yeah. So in this one, I am using the sun and the serpent, because the function of the sun, is like an eye, it's like a ball, but it's an eye that gives out energy, that looks upon all creation, and all creation feels its warmth. And that light that it gives is life, and it's energy. Energizes the process of photosynthesis for plants to live, and for all of us to get the benefits out of it, it's a secondary basis, but the plants are energized primarily by the sun. We also get our vitamin D as it hits our skin, the cholesterol in our skin turns into vitamin D, and all kinds of good stuff, you get from walking under the sun, breathing the fresh air. So it's a life-giving agent, so it's an eye that spreads out energy and gives life. Okay, it's a hole, it's an orifice. Okay, so I'm putting here the words for tub, and this is functional good right below, and I want to equate that to what is, because it's like a tub. It's the picture of a basket, because this word is for tub, and God saw that it was good. That's the word tub, and it's a basket, and this is the nail, and this is the floor plan for the house. So it's the basket has the function of receiving and collecting and dispensing. In the basket you put the bread in there, and then you collect it and you pass it out. So you collect things and you pass them on. So it's a basket that collects either information or something, and then it dispenses it out. So it dispenses out the wholesome product. So this is a basket that collects. They're well assembled, because that's the nail. The valve is a nail here. Let me show it to you. This valve here is a nail that connects the floor plan or the schematics of the house. So That's what every cell in our body does, the function of tub. Every cell of our body is like this little circle protein, that receives the DNA that has all the connections of how our whole body is made. And then it passes out to the next cell. So the whole process of the cell dividing is a function of tub. You see, so it has to be a cell that gathers all. Your brain is also a picture of tub. Your brain gathers all the knowledge that it receives from teachers, and then it dispenses it out with the mouth. So in your head, in your brain, you have the whole picture. As you receive knowledge and as you dispense it, that's the function of tub. You're like a basket that gathers the assembled knowledge and then it passes it out. That's the whole idea of what tub is about. You have to be able to gather the knowledge, gather whatever, and then pass it out. That's always the picture. And you can see the picture of that in many areas in the Bible. Like when Noah made the ark, that was the basket there. It collected all the human species, from animals to human beings, the complete glue DNA of all of them, collected into the basket. And when the 40 days and 40 nights were over, it dispenses it back to the earth. The whole picture of tub, that's what God used to save the whole world when the world had corrupted itself and become evil. I'm going to explain this in a minute, the evil here. So he used the picture of tub, the basket that collected all the assembled human and species, and then it dispenses out. So that's the process of tub. Okay, so understand, that's the beauty to get to the root. So that's what the sun does. But the sun, the way it dispenses its energy, is going to be very interesting, because I'm going to show you this right now. It dispenses its energy. I'm going to make sure I'm doing everything here correct. I'm recording everything fine. I don't want to get perfect. Okay. It dispenses the energy that it receives. 1, 2, 3 testing. Okay. But the way it collects it is very interesting. I want to show you a little video right now that shows how this guy explains how light can be formed that can give as much heat as the sun, just through the element of frequencies or vibrations or sounds that are not perceptible by the ear necessarily, but nonetheless are frequencies or sounds that can cause something, to be energized and produce light. And in those, I'm going to show you 2 environments in which they can be made: in outer space, in empty space, and it can be made right in the middle of the ocean. All right, I'm going to stop there and see if that makes some time to give some money. Let's see who is here right now. Sorry about all of this confusion, you guys, but like I said, today this is the first time I'm doing it, and this week they changed all the background on this Facebook thing, and I got the dark plot part, and I wasn't able to find live video for a while. All right, so let me see who we have today present with us. Let me see. All right, so we have, let me get this out of the way. Rosa is here, Andrew is here, Barefoot is here. All right, Rosa. All right. Hey, not too many. I mean, you guys might get all the money yourself, huh? All right. All right, all right. Okay. All right, now let's see. Brian. Brian, I see Brian. Good. All right. Okay. Now, let me see. As I was saying, think of a question based on what I said so far. Okay. So from the song that I sang, okay. I sang a song at the beginning, and anybody remembers what the song is asking? Okay, it's a little prayer that is asking a couple of things. Psalm 19:14. Can anybody tell me what the song is asking in that? Because I sang that at the beginning. What is the song? It's a prayer that is asking for 2 things. Psalm 19:14. Does anybody remember? For $50, we're doing $50 right now. Psalm 19:14. That's a prayer that I was singing to you at the beginning. There's 2 things that David is asking in that. Can anybody remember? Let's see. I'm looking down. Psalm 19:14. There's 2 things in that verse. I sang it to you so you will learn it. Okay. I'll try to sing it at the end too. But that's the time I want you to get that to your head. Yeah, this is the thing that we need to ask God, in order to work in agreement with Him. So anybody can think of that? Let me think. I'm gonna give you one more minute. See if you can come up with an answer. In Psalm 19:14, there's two things that David is asking, you know, for him to be able to do, so everything will be okay with God. So anybody can think of even one of them, you can win $50. I understand it was gonna rough at the beginning because I think the video was going on and off. Still we're okay right now though. It just looks like it's still connected. All right. Do we have it? Oh, let me see. Let me go back down there. I'm moving back. Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me see who did it first. And I have to go all the way back to the bottom. All right. Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy Toledo's here. Perfect. Good to see you. Look sharp now. All right. Now anoint my head. No, it's not that one. Protection. No. Meditation. Strength. Okay. Meditation. Somebody got a word there. Meditation is good. Let me see. Somebody has a more clear one. Oh, what is this song in the world? Oh, a hot mouth, and the meditation of my heart. Okay. So Rosa's got it the most better right now. Okay. And all right, Rosa, you got everything. Okay, Rosa get the $50 for giving most of the complete answer. Okay, Rosa, let me write it down. $50. That was a good try. He had one word, meditation. She said, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart. In other words, what I say be in agreement with what I'm thinking, and it's with the word. That means to have a clear speech. So let me write it here for Rosa Christmas, the first $50. Congratulations. Congratulations, $50 there. All right. That's correct. So we need to know that. We have to put our hearts in alignment with Him. Now, another question. I'm going to ask another one for another 50. Now, as I was explaining last, as I was explaining there about the word tub, okay? Can anybody tell me what does the word tub means, okay, in English? I was explaining the meaning of it, but what does it mean in English? And they want to come closer to the word tub. That's T-O-V, Ted, Vav, Beth. If anybody can think and tell me what does the word tub? Just one word, a couple of words defines it, but what does the word tub means? It's in Hebrew, but what does it mean in English? Teaching of statutes? No. My mouth meditation? No, that's the old one. Understanding according to the word. Well, that's what we're trying to do here, but let me see. Somebody got the word tub means something. It's just, I give you a hint. It says, when God had made everything, He used that word tub when He says, and God made the heaven, God made the heaven, and He made the fruit of the tree, and God saw that it was. Hey, Jimmy, you got it, Jimmy. Jimmy got it. Toledo got good. Yeah, it's good. The word good. Okay, let me put there 50 for Toledo. So Toledo get $50. All right, Jimmy. All right, my man. So congratulations. All right. The word tub means good, functioning. Okay, but that's the understanding behind the word. For God something to be functioning, it has to be able to collect information and to be able to collect it and then dispense it. That's why all organic life has that function. You don't have to do it for them. The insect collects all the DNA and dispenses it out. The trees collects all the DNA and dispenses it out. Every living organism does the tub, and it's not a burden to anybody. That's why everything is like that. And even the sun does the tub. That means the sun collects frequencies. You're going to see in a minute here. Collects frequencies and it sends them out as light. And that's what it does, because this guy will show you that in a minute here. All right, so we're gonna see a little bit more. All right, and then I'll come back. I think I'm gonna see if I can. Let me go back to what I was saying here. But congratulations, there, not bad, Jimmy. All right, okay. Now let me go back to where I was. All right, here we go. right, and let me move this way here. Yeah, that way it can be moving back and forth all the way to where you guys are. There we go, perfect. Okay, and now I'm going to explain a little bit more about Ra. Ra is evil, okay? So Tub is good, this one below here is good. And Ra, which is this, the Resh and the eye, the head, and Esh, sh is the letter for teeth. So the consuming head, the lustful eye, you will see, I'll explain to this right now. I hope I get to that right now. So here we go. Bubbles. Okay? So it's amazing. You're going to see how that works. So the whole idea is that we were made to gather the collection, like a brain that gathers the knowledge and then it dispenses out like the sun to activate products and services, to activate the characters and everybody, the character of God, and to reveal it. Okay? The opposite of that, the opposite of the sun, is to have a big head that instead of giving light, and we go to the serpent here, it swallows everything and just takes it deep inside and just makes and devours. So it's the eye that devours. So the picture of evil is Resh, is the head, which is spelled with the R, which is for the top of the head, and the Ish is for is for the teeth. So the head that consumes, how you spell it, the head that consumes an iron. So the head of the consuming eye, or the lustful eye. So to have a head that just wants to experience. So this is the whole idea. This is the eye here, iron. So Resh and iron is Ra, and Ra is evil. Ra is evil. It's just the function of looking at something so you can experience it for yourself. Okay, look at something so you can have the experience for yourself. Okay, so you can have the whole sensation. You want to just indulge all your senses in it and feel and see how it feels to just be that, because that's how it happened in the garden. They told you, look at the tree, watch the tree, and then see how it feels to be like God, knowing good and evil. Experience that for yourself. Okay? So just like the whole idea is not to follow, let me get this thing out of here, not to follow a certain set of rules that promote the character of the maker, promote what he's doing, but to experience for yourself, what it's like to be the ruler and be the one running the whole show. So the whole thing is, that's the first thing that happens to any company you go to work. They have the rulers and they want you to, go with the rules. And the first thing is you got to trust those rules and follow them. If you do not trust the rules and you want to run things yourself, then what? You're in what they call conflict of interest, because then you want to compete with the company. That's why people leave the company and they start their own side company that's similar to the products, because you learn the methods and then you start your own little thing. People do restaurants like that. They learn the methods from Kentucky and then they open their own restaurant with all the stuff. People do stuff like that all the time. They cannot stay there because if you do not bow down to those methods and teaching that they give you, you're in conflict. So the first idea, if you're going to work with a company, you got to trust the instructions. You don't have to be there to to just experience what it's like to be. I want to take a little pause here because I think I videotaped this with the other recording where it's showing me, speaking, because here it doesn't show the video, but it should be showing my video. I mean, let me find the other one here for a second. Give me a second here. I think I can find it and play it for you, because that would be better than this. Let me think. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Documents, Bandicam. All right, here we go. Let's get the last one here that I did, which streams today. Yeah, today, 7/22. All right. Okay, I think this is the one. Let me put a play here. Oh no, it doesn't work. This file is already in use. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's not working. I'm so sorry about that. Let me see. Let me get out of here. So what happened? Let me see a second. Oh, so sorry. And so I wanted to make a place so you can see me. It's like, because that's when it's 51 p.m. All right, let me think. So give me a second here. I'm gonna change this around. Uh, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't think I recorded it right. Uh, well, oh, I see why. Okay, okay, I'm doing it right. Yeah, here we go. This is the one. Here we go. All right, and here we are today on Wednesday. We're gonna do this thing. So today it's gonna call. Actually, gonna call it the. Your brain is also a picture of tub. Your brain gathers all the knowledge that it receives from teachers, and then it dispenses it out with the mouth. So in your head, in your brain, you have the whole picture. As you receive knowledge and as you dispense it, that's the function of tub. You're like a basket that gathers the assembled knowledge and then it passes it out. That's the whole idea of what tub is about. You have to be able to gather the knowledge, gather whatever, and then pass it out. That's always the picture. And you can see the picture of that in many areas in the Bible. Like when Noah made the ark, that was the basket there. It collected all the human species, from animals to human beings. The complete blue DNA of all of them, collected into the basket. And when the 40 days and 40 nights were over, it dispenses it back to the earth. The whole picture of tub, that's what God used to save the whole world when the world had corrupted itself and become evil. I'm going to explain this in a minute, the evil here. So he used a picture of a head that just wants to experience. So this is the whole idea. This is the eye here, iron. So Resh and iron is Ra, and Ra is evil. It's just the function of looking at something so you can experience it for yourself. Okay, look at something so you can have the experience for yourself. Okay, so you can have the whole sensation. You want to just indulge all your senses in it and feel and see how it feels to just be that, because that's how it happened in the garden. They told you, look at the tree, watch the tree, and then see how it feels to be like God, knowing good and evil. Experience that for yourself. Okay? So just like the whole idea is not to follow, let me get this thing out of here, not to follow a certain set of rules that promote the character of the maker, promote what he's doing, but to experience for yourself, what it's like to be the ruler and be the one running the whole show. So the whole thing is, that's the first thing that happens to any company you go to work. They have the rulers and they want you to, go with the rules. And the first thing is you got to trust those rules and follow them. If you do not trust the rules and you want to run things yourself, then what? You're in what they call conflict of interest, because then you want to compete with the company. That's why people leave the company and they start their own side company that's similar to the products, because you learn the methods and then you start your own little thing. People do restaurants like that. They learn the methods from Kentucky and then they open their own restaurant with all the stuff. People do stuff like that all the time. They cannot stay there because if you do not bow down to those methods and teaching that they give you, you're in conflict. So the first idea, if you're going to work with a company, you got to trust the instructions. You don't have to be there to just experience what it's like to be the boss and you run things your own way. That's the first way how you get fired. That's why the fire was given to our first parents. So the whole idea of looking at something to consume it, to lust for it so you can experience it for yourself, that's what Resh is about. That's what evil is about, because you want it all for yourself. You want to consume it, So the whole idea of going out. So the whole thing when the tree of knowledge of good and evil was made, and Adam and Eve was looking at it, and this is Eve. One thing you need to think, who made the tree of knowledge of good and evil? God did. He made it, right? Not Satan or not the serpent or nothing. God made it. So where was the knowledge of good and evil to begin with? Okay? It was in God. God knows good and evil. He creates good and he makes good and he creates evil. He says all of that. I make darkness, I make light. I wound and I heal. He does everything. He has all the knowledge. So since he created all creation and he put us there until the sixth day, he did not ask us to contribute any idea of how to run everything. When we arrive, we just need to take those words and follow them in the order that he wants us. So at the beginning, the only thing he was asking us to listen. Shema. Listen. Listen to the words and then act upon what I'm explaining to you. So listen and act upon it. Okay, not to see and experience for yourself what I have. I know what I have. Just trust me what I have. It's my place. Your flesh is my flesh. Your eyes are my eyes. Your ears is my ears. I'm lending you everything. And I even give you words to experience me having your fellowship in you, I just follow the orders I'm going to give you, and you're going to order, and you're going to hear from me. So it was all about hearing Shema. You know, that's why that prayer that you do two times a day, Shema, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, is we need to listen. We have to prepare our ears to receive and to act upon as God reveals Himself to us. So that's the whole idea. So then the serpent is the opposite of the sun. It's the big head that swallows up energy, that swallows up life. It's the eye of lustfulness that does not seek to, promote the life that already exists, to be a garden dispenser, but to be a garbage disposal. You just want to eat away the experience just so you can have it for yourself. And so that's the whole idea, is that we need to utilize speech in the way the Creator utilizes it, to bring things to life, okay? And in every which way, the life of the character of God, which is our main job for us. We don't work for General Electric. General Electric took that as the slogan. We bring good things to life, because they were about electricity. But those are the equivalent of a proverb. Okay, a proverb is a ruling slogan. But in any case, I'm getting ahead of myself, so you understand the difference. You see, we need to be in tub all the time. We need to be like the brain that collects information and then dispenses it out. That's a tub function. The tree that gathers the RNA and all this function, it passes into the next cell and the next cell, and so it grows, and everything functions like that, and constantly the motion of tub is going in all creation. Okay, so let me read a little bit about the psalm I wanted to read for you today. Okay, let me get to this right now. Here we go. I believe that's Psalm. Yeah, this one. See somebody else doing here? Okay, estoy haciendo mi mensaje ahorita, okay? Okay. And so let me read you the psalm for today. Let me see here. Yeah. All right. And I want you to read it, and then I'm gonna play to you that video that explains how a son can be made to be born, in a water, in flask of water. But here it goes. This is a Psalm 19. The chief musician, a Psalm of David. All right. It says, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth His handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language. There's no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words, the sound of the words, the utterance, to the end of the world. And in them had He set a tabernacle for the sun, a place where the sun dwells and it's going to come out, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and His circuit unto the ends of it. And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. Okay, so he's talking about the sun, like He just has rays to span all the warmth that will bring life to all the terrain of creation. And he's comparing that to what your soul becomes, what it inherits to the bar. He's going to be able to feed all of creation. He's not here to feed from anything in creation, but find His completeness in God, and therefore that word is now to reveal the character of completeness, and you go about to speak of Him, to speak of His marvelous connections, and you understand here the sound, frequency, the speech, all of that, because the whole world is electric and it's alive, and you're going to see in this video. Systems communicate with other systems. The system of rain, communicates with evaporation, the system of photosynthesis, all these systems, all these powers, that run nature are in harmony. And that's what the word powers means, Elohim. That's why it's plural. All the Elohims, all the powers are in agreement, to take care of the revelation of God. And so all these powers work together. It's like in your body. There's a different system to run your hearing, than to run your kidneys, and to run your adrenal system. There's all different systems of your body. These are powers that run your whole body. But they all work in agreement. So there's a bunch of powers that it takes all of them connected, Yud He Vav He. There's a connection of all of them there, and then all of these together, they work together, as a secure, as an echad, and as a maximum, stronger, secure management for the body. The whole Word of God, you can see it working there, and then this whole system together allow this whole body to function. So all these powers, which is Elohim, all the different systems working together, connecting together, diamond the connectedness, which is the expression of Yud He Vav He, and working all together as a strong, secure, administration of this whole body. It's amazing. So you see the whole names of God being expressed in a whole body. Once you get into the Word of God, you begin to see that your whole living, your whole experience of walking in this world is nothing but just to be breathing in and out, the presence of your Maker. And that's the whole idea. That's the things I'm trying to get you into here to understand, And all right, so here we go. Now let me see. Okay, so it stops there. So verse 6 to the end of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. Okay, so the sun goes just to give life and to give energy to everything, and that's the whole idea. Now he gets to the personal part. So here talking about how you see this picture in nature, how all of nature is communicating, with frequencies and everything, everything, the moon, the stars, the heavens, everything, they're running with the frequencies, with the voice of God. And now the law, or the Torah, they said the teachings orderly regulating all humanity of the Lord is perfect, it's complete, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandments of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgment of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, than much fine gold, sweeter also than the honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let me go down a bit more here so we can see what's below here. Okay, we come to the end. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Okay, so he's talking, this is very interesting prayer. Keep thy servant also from presumptuous sins. From just things that, that may happen without you having knowledge. Make me aware of what I'm doing all the time so I don't do things, without wanting them to do. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright. Because he wants to be all his mind completely connected to his mindset. And I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Walking and wandering off into other things in this world. If there's something else to complete you, that's the great transgression of our parents. That's the first thing our parents did, is they value the knowledge that was in God, and they give that value to a tree. The knowledge of good and evil that had the value that he had because he was in God, they assigned that value to something external. That's the first time that the value that was inside God was given to something external, to a tree. The respect and admiration that should be given to God alone for having that knowledge was given to a tree. And because we made that decision, our parents made that decision that from something external we could get something that will make us be like God, therefore we became dust. That's the curse that was given. Dust thou art, unto dust shalt thou return. And the serpent was given the task, the curse, of walking on the dust, on his belly, and eating dust all the day. Not that the serpent eats dust, but that's symbolic of what the spirit of lust does. The spirit of this age, gets man to build as a retarded garden, and then he has to be making man-made plans, little Torahs, little teachings already regulating humanity that people hire you to do, and then you become the function of the soil. You become the one that builds this plant, man-made plant, down from the ground up, and your manpower puts the products and everything in it. So everything completely backwards for forgetting the maker. Awful thing, but that's what you get, for not trusting your maker. Okay, so So I said, but this is a nice thing here, and this is a nice prayer. I'm going to teach you this song today. We're going to start with this, and then you're going to see what I'm talking about. It says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. So it's all about the speech. We're asking, for our speech to be constructive, to be able to, first of all, for the scriptures to be able to relay upon this world, to display upon this world the character of completeness of our Maker. That we're so happy and satisfied with Him that there's nothing that we go to desire from our fellow man. It says, as another verse of scripture says, let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long. I have a little song that goes like that. Let not thy heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long. See what? But that's a good song too. I always memorize verses like that. So if you're in the fear of the Lord, in the respect that the word deserves because it's the creative agent of God, and you give it the optimum employment, using it for creating, for displaying the character of the Maker, always learning something new to edify your fellow man, and all of that, and then you don't have time to look at all that this world is going through, because what this world is going through is just what they deserve for not listening to their Maker. They deserve the noise and pestilence, the noise that just has a lot of noise and a lot of sound, but no signal, nothing clarifying that keeps them all, in any case, so let me go to this thing, and I'm going to be talking more about this, but for now, let me go to this thing here to explain. Oh, was it at the beginning? Oh, yeah. So, let me see if we can do some more here. So, I will explain about the books later on, but let me play to you this video, okay? And after the video, I'm gonna stop. Then we'll be talking some more. But let me see here. All right, let me put this video in here. Yeah, sonoluminescence, hot as the sun. Okay. Now let me play this. Okay, let me stop here right now so I can do the last 50. All right. Thank you for waiting. I know I went past 9, but because I started late, so let me go to where you guys are here now. The last question for the 50. All right. And if you can stay, I want to play the whole video anyhow. But let me just do the $50 here. So let's see. So, okay, ready for the last one now. As I'm explaining, evil, in Hebrew, for the word evil, is made out of 2 Hebrew letters, right? Can somebody tell me what are the pictures of those 2 letters? The first one to tell me the pictures of those 2 letters for evil, okay, in the Hebrew. It's made out of 2 letters, which is Ra, is the word. So it's made out of 2 letters, and there's a picture for each letter. Can somebody tell me what those pictures are? If anybody see if you're paying attention for evil. Let's put it here. Let's go back. Yeah, Resh is the word, all right. But what does... Hey, Brian. Yeah, an eye and a head. Correct. An eye and a head. All right. So we had $50 for Brian. So congratulations to the $50 winners today. So we have Rosa Crispin, the first 50, Jimmy Toledo, the second 50, and Brian Wanda, another 50. All right. Okay. Congratulations, you guys. you stick to. Now, this little movie I'm going to play is only 7 minutes, but I suggest you watch it. It's really going to explain how a sun can be made with frequencies, with the sound. You see, the frequencies are sounds. They're speech. It's speech that nature understands. And those are the systems and powers of the nature, And just like our body runs by the electricity of the nervous system and communicate with all our organs, all the different powers and systems that work in our body. There's an electricity in the air, the frequencies in the air that run all of creation. And this guy is explaining it really, so I'm going to play it right now. Let me go back here for a second. Let me put this one. All right. So let me move it here so you guys can see it better. Oh, no, I'm moving the wrong one. No, let me keep this one here. Now I'm gonna move this one. I'm gonna move. Yeah, this one. Okay, so you can see the whole summoning lessons. There we go. So I'm gonna cover you for a minute, you guys, but I want to play this for you guys. All right, here we go.
So, contrary to what they teach in science, so we talked already about the periodic table is really a periodic table of energy. The universe is actually magnetic and light. It's not gravitational driven. It's such a weak force compared to magnetism. So what this is I'm going to induce an electrical and magnetic field. This outer ball is the male or yang field, and this silver one inside is the yin or female field.
Fascinating.
So just like males and females like to do, they are going to go at it. So with no further ado, I'm going to now put this over in order to help adjust. And we're going to turn on a vacuum pump so that we can mimic outer space. And let's see, I think it's right here.
Now you've created a special generator for this. Is this what you're doing? So you've created specific frequencies, male frequencies and female frequency?
Yep, it's both male and female at the same time.
Wow.
But again, it's not canceling out because I've created space. I've created a neutral distance that they don't cancel out. They're actually, so every system in the universe is an oppositive system. So if you, like electricity for example, if you cut the electricity on one leg, the whole thing collapses. There's no system. So you have to have that send and receive, that yin and yang happening. If they come in contact with each other, then they can neutralize and cancel out like a salt or something. But what this is going to do is there's enough design in space that keeps it separate. And so instead of a sun actually being a fusion generator eating its own hydrogen and helium, and over time, it's going to use all of its fuel, the sun is actually being powered by something else. There's something else that's acting on that female field, if you will, that's creating that sun. So what you're going to see in here, as there's enough, the vacuum pump is pumping out the air, then eventually you're going to start seeing a orange dot, which is the male side, and a purple dot on the female side, and they're going to start reacting together, and then a purple plasma is going to start forming around the female field. Then it's going to move inside, and magnetism, not gravity, is going to pull it all together. And that plasma, or the baby of these two, is a sun. So it's in a womb in the female, if you will. So that's what this is. If it was a engine of fusion, then you'd have a super hot core, getting cooler as it moves out. But it's actually the opposite. Its atmosphere is the hottest. Its surface is so cool it's like 6,000 degrees. And then inside is so cool that you can see sunspots. You can actually look into the core, and there is so cool in temperature that's what a sunspot is.
So you're telling me what I've learned in school was not appropriate, was not
right. It's based on a gravitational theory,
and we believe that it is a magnetism.
Right, and magnetism is 40,000 times stronger than gravity.
Absolutely. Why is?
And this is just a way to show that, but it's also cool to see a sun be born. And so here in probably 5 or so, 10 minutes, that will get tighter and tighter and tighter, and it'll be an actual visible sphere. You'll actually see a little core, and it'll even shoot out a beagle jet of pure energy. So awesome. A quasar.
So the sun is sending out quasar energy to the Earth.
So yeah,
measured by, what's the term that the sun measures in?
Well, so something's feeding the sun. The sun then is feeding our moon and our Earth. All of that. Everything's being fed, and it's a system. So there's no such thing as immaterial matter, and there's no such thing as non-energized matter, right? Matter is capacitated to receive light and energy. So when the two work together, that's what's happening here with the sun. It's just that this is an example of our red dragon energy to kind of show. So what's happening inside that female is similar to what's happening to our blue dragon water. what's happening on the outside, male, is what happens to our male blue dragon water.
All right, now we go to the water, the bubble that lights up, the bubble on the water.
So as people started to explore this more, they eventually figured out that if you just trap a bubble of gas with the sound waves like you just saw, you can make that single bubble repeatedly expand and violently compress down on itself over and over again. They found that as the bubble is compressed, it eventually releases a single flash of light for every acoustic cycle. Then it expands, bounces a couple of times, and then the cycle starts over. Now, the first thing that got me interested in this wasn't actually anything to do with ultrasound, but instead with the internet's favorite murderous crustacean, the mantis shrimp. These angry little bastards have the most devastating punch in the entire animal kingdom, and can accelerate their little bowling ball hands with the same force as a .22 caliber bullet. When they punch things, the impact is such that it violently forces the water out of the way, and you get a cavitation bubble. And sure enough, you also get a flash of light. Think about that for a second. This little rainbowy bugger can literally punch things so hard, light comes out.
Your lights out.
Another similar species, the pistol shrimp, can shoot a jet of water out of its claw, and it too produces both a cavitation bubble and a flash of light, and it uses the shockwave created to stun its prey. Lots of other things produce cavitation bubbles too, including the impeller on submarines. They produce long streams of bubbles which actually cause enormous amounts of noise as the bubbles collapse and release little shockwaves. So tons of research has gone into how you can reduce this to make subs more stealthy. When I first heard about this, of course it was down the rabbit hole to learn where that light comes from, and fast forward 5 or so years later, I can now recreate it in a flask of water. Now, for those of you that saw my cold fire video, you know that it took me 18 attempts to get a torch that worked and produced the beautiful glow of cold fire. This project dwarfs that. I've long since lost count how many flasks I've stuck transducers to make this work, and how many hours I've spent in the dark staring at an empty flask of water. The issue is that there are several tutorials online, but they all rely on doing this in the most difficult way possible, and rely on using materials that are only sold from a single company in Germany that isn't super keen on selling you things. When the reality is, most of that doesn't matter, their methods are overcomplicated to no real benefit, and this can be accomplished far more easily.
All right. So as you see, I'm glad you stay and watch. You know, at the end, I'm sorry to have started late, like I say, but you know, this is the experience I have because this is my first week with this new format. But I figured it out. I think I know how to do it well next week, buddy. In any case, congratulations to all of you that participated once again. You know, and as you can see, I'm trying to get you into the nitty gritty of things. You know, I'm going to start sharing the order of the books because in the books you'll see that there's a meaning to the books. You know, in the Tanakh, which means the order of the Hebrew Bible, and then the order of the Christian Bible and the way it was put together. I'll explain that the next time we get together. But here we're trying to see that the purpose for which we get together is to learn to harness the optimum usefulness of the speech, of the words that we speak. Let the words of the speech of my mouth, you know, and the meditation and the speech that I have in my heart be acceptable, be something that conveys the character of my maker, be something that is productive in this world, you know, to bring the character of completeness. That's all that the world is really missing anyhow. So that's all I thought I'd share with you, and I appreciate the time, you know, and we'll sing the song again next week. And I enjoy your fellowship of you being here today, you know, and congratulations once again to the winners, you know. And I hope you got something solid from the lesson, but we're going to be repeating this over and over in different ways. So we all learn something from it. And so we will be better established in the bar of our Maker, you know, in the word, you know, that he gave to Moshe, to Moses, to impart to us, and still the one, you know, in which the whole creation is founded upon. So once again, I enjoy your presence and enjoy your company. So have a good evening and God bless you.